Hello everyone. My name is Lester Nare. I'm a manager of product and marketing here at WikiRealty. We're going to get started with our live broadcast. For those of you who are watching this after the fact, I'm just giving this intro to let you know we are just a few minutes early here. So we're going to wait maybe a minute or two for folks to start coming in before we get started. Again, we're going to just discuss everything we can about all the questions you have as our community members about how to get the most out of WikiRealty. Again, for those of you who are watching the recorded broadcast, we did do this live, and as such, we may have a few technical difficulties. So just a heads up, we are waiting for a few folks to come in. We are starting early here. So over the course of the next few minutes, I will begin sort of moderating the discussion. For the time being, we'll be on hold as folks sort of jump in here. All right, got it pulled up here to make sure everyone can see all right. Perfect. Okay. And again, just to redo my intro, again, my name is Lester Nare. I am a manager of product and marketing here at WikiRealty, and I'm really excited here to talk to you guys today, the folks in our community, and really hear from you guys on the ground what your experience has been like, understand where your confusion or pain points are, and hopefully help to sort of guide you in the right direction as to how to best get the most value out of the product. Again, we are a little bit early here on the broadcast time, so I'm going to wait just a few moments again to allow folks to sort of straggle in and get settled. And at that point, we will begin to go through questions. I have it pulled up here on my phone, so I should be able to see your comments as they come in. Alrighty. Looks like we have a couple viewers coming in now. For the folks who are sort of joining us in now, go ahead and say hello. Let us know you're here in the comment box. Start, firing away questions as I start to walk through things, but we always love to hear people as they come in. So for those of you who are coming in now, I see a few of you sort of hopping on, a larger viewership. Go ahead and say hello. I'd love to know who we're talking with, where you guys are from, and that kind of can give me a little bit of a gauge of what to talk about. I know we have tons of folks in the California area that are coming in, so we might talk about some California-based stuff. And I want to make sure, again, that I'm answering all of your questions directly. So as we have folks sort of starting to come in now, what I will go ahead and do is I'm just going to walk through. For those of you who maybe haven't seen our big new redesign, I'll give you a little background and then kind of walk through some of the changes we've made. So WikiRealty had started about 4 years ago now, and the real goal was at the time our CEO Sanjay was a home builder across all asset classes, so from master plan golf course communities to commercial to suburban real estate. I mean, he's covered the whole spectrum. And what he'd noticed was, you know, real estate had sort of operated as an insider trading market, right, in terms of neighborhood information. A lot of people kept that information close to the vest. And I mean, 4 years ago doesn't seem that long, but I mean, think about what 4 years ago was. I mean, this is just post the Barack Obama presidency, which was the social media presidency. Facebook and Twitter was only continuing to become more of a staple in all of our lives, social media in general. And it was at this time that we had started WikiRealty because we had realized as more information becomes available, as the portals begin to get all listing information, the differentiator is no longer your listings, right? Your price, square footage data that anyone can go and find now. It's just like used cars. I mean, you can see what the used car inventory is before you even show up at the lot. So what is the benefit now of the salesperson? It's providing sort of those intangible details that you can't really get from anybody else. As it pertains to some of you guys, it's going to be the lifestyle in these neighborhoods that's most important. And again, for those of you who are coming in, please don't be shy. Toss in some comments in the comment box. I can see you watching. I just got a hi. Hello, how's it going, Shelly? Welcome. So what I'll just do, I just gave a little bit of background about, again, why we'd started. And the main focus for this was really trying to get an understanding of where some of you guys were in the community in terms of your questions about the product and how to get the most out of it. What I will do is I will talk about how I use the product and how I've seen success in using the product. And some of those, I think, techniques and takeaways might apply to you as well. Hey, I think Patty just came in. Hey, Patty, how's it going? Thanks for saying hello. So again, so we're based here in California. Our office is in Santa Monica. I happen to live in Koreatown, which is about a 45 minute drive from the office. And what's really interesting about my area and how I use the product is specifically with Koreatown right now. We're having a huge amount of new construction going on. I think just, by my house alone, there's 30 new construction projects within a 12 block radius of my property. So with WikiRealty, I happen to live in a new construction building that's not at full capacity yet. So there's 74 condo units. We're about 50% capacity. So there's about half of our building which is still empty. So while I'm not selling the properties in my building, I'm a very happy resident. And as a way to show people how to use the product from my context, I've started to sort of put out these highlights as it pertains to Koreatown and our property specifically. And I just want to show you guys sort of not only how consumers are using the platform, but then also how my content is getting out and being seen by folks who are searching information about Koreatown, which is, again, where the building in which I live and a neighborhood that I'm really proud of living in and want people to understand some of the nuance about it. So let's just take a quick look at how someone would use the platform to search in Koreatown directly. So if I just go ahead and pop in Koreatown here, users can search a location and a topic of interest. So we can search Koreatown, and if we want to add dog parks in here, we could add dog parks, and we could add grocery shopping, we could add schools. I'm just going to keep it basic and go ahead and hop into Koreatown. One of the first things to understand about WikiRealty that's different than any other listing portal site is we're not really a portal. We really are a social network for real estate, for your network, and for communities and neighborhoods to be able to communicate around properties. So the one thing you'll notice on our searches, you'll both see results for content, such as this highlight I wrote about a new target that's being built, as well as listings. You have the ability to toggle on either of these content types. So if I am a home buyer and I just want to understand information about what's going on in this neighborhood that's not listing specific, I can sort of toggle homes off and just look around and see, okay, in this area, here's what people are writing about, right? I can redo a search closer to South Park and I can see, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on in South Park. There's a new billion-dollar mega project. There's this dog park, targeting a new Petco. So again, these are sort of lifestyle pieces of information that people can discover around real estate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into where I live currently. And what you guys can view this as is, let's imagine that the complex that I'm living in is a property that you are trying to sell. As I mentioned before, the complex that we're in, for those who are just joining now, is about 50% capacity, condo units. And if we just come in and I'll just point out, so we live over on Virgil, right around here. So between 4th and 5th on Virgil Avenue in Koreatown. So if I just do a search here, what I'll find is we'll have properties. So these four happen to be the building that I live in. So people can look at these properties, right? And now what they can also do is they can see what's going on around it. So if I want to, excuse me, let me go back here really quick. I just clicked into that listing. If I want to come back into Koreatown again, so let me just hop in here. Oh, wrong Koreatown. Sorry about that, guys. Give me 1 second here. The streaming is killing my speed. So Koreatown, CA. So if we come back in here, again, just for those who are joining us, we're talking about a condo complex and how we can write content around it to drive traffic. So again, the complex is right here where you see this 4, right? And what I've done is I went ahead and added a few highlights nearby. So one of them I added was this tip, which is talking about a new construction complex that's being built 2 blocks away. So if we go in and click this as a user on the platform, what they'll be able to see is this highlight I've written. I've added some photos. So these are sort of the mock-ups of what this new complex is going to look like. The reason I thought this was valuable for people to know about is because where we live, there's not really a sort of a target type of complex that has both grocery and regular shopping that's within walking distance. And when we first moved here, we didn't have a car. So one of the things that was really intriguing to me that we only found out after we had gone to talk to Kelly, who was the agent at this building, was that there was actually a brand new Target, a massive new Target that was going to be built 2 blocks away. That was going to be a combo grocery and shopping. And for us, that was a huge selling point because, again, we would be able to go there. We didn't have a car at the time, and we knew that it would also help with our property value moving forward. So what I did was I just wrote a brief highlight talking about, again, how Koreatown is in the middle of this development renaissance that I mentioned. There's a lot of new construction going on, which makes it a very interesting place to move for people who are looking for that new construction. I talked about what's going into that complex, and then I asked what people feel about it. And what I'll do is let me take a step back here again, and let me show you another piece that I added. Again, by adding this content around the Koreatown area, I'm going to show you how this is driving traffic to me. Another post I had written about was top 3 new construction projects coming to Koreatown. And why I want to show you this is what I did was outline what they were, which is going to be, again, a huge selling point for people and information you can't get anywhere else. And then if you just look here at the bottom, what I did was I went ahead and added this call to action. For you folks, you'll want to reference your own, your own personal brand or your own office with your own information. But what I did here was say, here's all this new construction that's happening. These are going to be great cultural additions to the area. It makes it a great place to live for people who are either creative, young, or what have you. And if you're interested, there's no better time to move here. And here's who you need to call and let them know you found me, right? So here's how I'm using content that's about new construction going on in Koreatown and using that to lead to a call to action for people to come in and to call me. What's interesting to note here is I'm logged into my own account. So normally this would be a call now button and a message button rather than edit delete, giving you another way in which people can, again, reach out to you through this content. So you might be thinking, okay, Lester, this is great. I understand that today's day and age, it's not just about listing data, price and square footage, but it's about how is the area around the property going to be best for me. I get that. I get that you can use WikiRealty to put out this information, but how is it getting discovered by other people that aren't already on WikiRealty? Well, that's a great question, and here's how I'll show you how that's happening. Many of you are on Facebook all day, I imagine, messaging people, reaching out, communicating. Many of you are on Facebook. Many of you maybe are doing Google AdWords or on LinkedIn. These are all platforms that are important for you to have a presence on. And what we do with WikiRealty is we make sure that when you're publishing your content, it goes out to all of these platforms. So if we take a look at Facebook, for example, and if I just search new construction Koreatown, what will happen when I go to Facebook and I search new construction Koreatown, in these links, you're going to see my highlight that I wrote about new construction for Koreatown, multiple posts for it, as well as the fact that I show up on top. So again, if I'm on Facebook and I'm searching new construction Koreatown, my content that I had automatically broadcasted from WikiRealty is showing up on Facebook at the top, and again is leading back to my post, which we talked about is ending with that call to action. And again, these buttons would be a message button and a call now button if I wasn't already logged in to my profile. So again, for folks who are on Facebook searching for new construction or new construction projects in Koreatown on Facebook, I'm showing up at the top of that search that's happening on Facebook. Now let's take a look at Twitter. What if I go to Twitter and I search new construction projects Koreatown? What's happening? Again, not only is the content that I posted showing up, but people who are finding it and sharing that content are also showing up, right? So this is, again, a great way for you to not only get your content out there, but when people find it, they're also going to share it. And, I don't know who this person is, but they're sharing this thing I wrote about Koreatown to their Twitters. And let's take out projects. Let's say someone's searching new construction Koreatown. Again, those results are still showing up here for that query. And this is really, again, the power of WikiRealty in terms of creating, again, these digital billboards for you guys. I mean, how valuable is this? I mean, this is the equivalent of a bench ad in front of a person you already know wants to move to Koreatown and is looking for new construction, which just so happens to be the property that I'm trying to sell, right? So again, it's framing content in the form of an advertisement. I mean, this is so invaluable. And let's not forget the big elephant in the room, Google. If I go to Google and I search new construction projects Koreatown, what is the fourth result above the fold that I see? Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. My post on WikiRealty even shows up at the top of Google above the fold for a search, new construction projects in Koreatown. So again, the value here, what are you trying to do? What you're trying to do as the expert in your market is to make sure that no matter where somebody is, whether they're on Facebook, whether they're on Twitter, whether they're on Google or LinkedIn, that when they search for keywords that are important to you and the properties you're trying to sell, you show up at the top of search, right? And again, that's leading people to your page, which will then have that call to action. Not to mention, again, I have this listing claimed to my profile, so it's going to be the first listing that someone sees next to my highlight that I've posted that people are discovering on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google, and on LinkedIn organically. And again, I mean, I know some of you probably do Google AdWords. To have a placement in one of these spots is very, very expensive. And once you stop paying, you no longer appear here. Let's take a look at this. This was May 4th, 3 weeks ago, already top of the fold, and it's not going to go anywhere for a very, very, very long time. Case in point, let me just show you how long it's going to stay at the top of Google, right? Gordon Drive lots. This gentleman wrote this highlight February 5th, 2014. And where does he appear? The #1 result on Google. And think about, for those of you who pay for AdWords, I mean, this is hundreds of dollars a week or a month to be in that spot. And this guy is here after 3 years, still there. And let's also make sure we note that he didn't write a novel here, right? So again, this is the power of getting to all of these places from one point. So that's just a quick overview of what is the purpose of WikiRealty. To make sure people discover you for the keywords you care about. So if you're selling, 3-bedroom, 4 or 5-bedroom properties, you're going to want to talk about family types of activities because those are more than likely going to be the type of people that are going to be interested in your properties. If you're going to be trying to sell 1-bedroom, 1-bathrooms, maybe you want to talk about the best nightlife spots for singles in your area or other pieces of content that are related to that topic. So that's the core idea here. Now let's take a step back and say, okay, Lester, I understand that. I'm using this content to lead people to my listings. As I mentioned, right, you can have your listings on the platform. You can enter your MLS in here to claim them so you have them. So when you post this content, it's leading to those listings. The other great part about this is you also have the ability to see all of the engagement across your content. So I can see that 34 people have viewed this highlight that I wrote a few weeks ago. A few people messaged me about it. I can go to my analytics and see my content across the board. It really looks like whatever I did on May 5th was really effective, and I should continue to do that, right? So again, really giving you the holistic ability to understand all of what's going on around this content and how it's actually driving traffic to you. One of the great things we also give you the ability to do is backlink to your own website. So here's how a few people are using the product. You kind of understand a little bit about the use case. I'm going to show you 2 things now. One, how people are using it, either as their main point of contact, as their website, or as a way to drive traffic to their website. And then lastly, I'm going to show you this brand new feature that no one else has seen before. It's really exciting. It's going to be a way for you to even make it more automated to get content out to your database. So first and foremost, how people are using it as sort of their primary website. So when you create an account on WikiRealty, you get the ability to create a vanity URL. So I went ahead and created wikirealty.com/Lester. What are the elements that make up my profile? Let's take a look. Well, I have my profile picture, obviously. I can have a title in my company as well as location, how many highlights and connections that I have, a brief bio, calls to action to message and call me, all of my social links, websites, and emails, so my Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, my own personal website, and my email, the ability for people to follow me, a history of all of my activity on the platform, and a way for people to view all of it, my digital billboards, my highlights, the differentiating information that's going to convince people to work with me and not someone else. And at quick glance, you can see that I'm pretty well versed in new construction that's happening in Koreatown. So again, I'm trying to go after an audience of people who are looking at luxury new construction properties in Koreatown. And my content, as you can see, is reflecting that. And that's going to be what draws that audience to me. And last but not least, my properties, the homes that I'm trying to sell. So for many folks who don't want to go through the effort of managing their own website, building this out, paying for a domain, paying for hosting, which all adds up. It's a couple $100 just for that a year for your own domain and your own hosting. Many folks are just using this as their go-to for their online presence. Again, we have your properties, the most important thing, you can claim them to your profile. We have your differentiator, your digital billboards, your contact information, as well as also your expertise so people know the neighborhoods that you work in and the interests that you have. So if you think about it and take a step back, what is the purpose that your current website, lesternare.com, is serving for you? What is the ultimate purpose for it other than causing a huge headache, which I know it is for many of you? And ultimately, it's just so you have a digital storefront, right? Like, if you bought an office, that's a physical storefront. You want to have a digital storefront that best exemplifies what it is you offer, which for the most part is your properties and your expertise. So why couldn't you use your WikiRealty profile to do just that? Again, it goes back to what we talk about. WikiRealty, we view it as a social network around real estate. So just like many people have a Facebook business page as their only storefront, right? They don't have a website because they can do what they need just with that. We are trying to create a similar process specific for folks in real estate who don't want to go through the rigmarole of having a website, of dealing with all of the IDX feeds and this and that, and then a whole mess that comes with that, because it just creates more effort without necessarily the results that you're looking for. So that's one way people are using WikiRealty. The other way that folks are using WikiRealty is to drive traffic to the websites that they've spent the last 5 years pulling their hair out dealing with, but nevertheless, they've spent time and money building it out and don't want that to all go out the window. So what I'll show you is how we can create a highlight that will drive traffic to your website that will also, again, get discovered across Facebook, Twitter, Google, and LinkedIn. So what I've done here is I went ahead and popped in a pre-written highlight for another thing that I want to talk about. Again, I'm focusing on new construction going on in and around the Koreatown area, which includes sort of the downtown LA area in general. So I'm going to write this highlight about the new soccer team, MLS team coming, breaking new ground on a stadium, right? So I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. I think it's going to be huge for people who live out here. I'm happy about it. What are your thoughts? That's what I'm writing here, right? Then I can tag it to the map. So I want to tag it, around the map nearby my properties, but also in a relevant place as it pertains to my highlight. And then what you'll see here is a spot for links, right? So this is where now, if I had the website lesternare.com, I could link back to my own website. So now when I'm posting this highlight about LAFC breaks ground on a new stadium in Los Angeles, and someone finds it on Twitter or Facebook or Google or LinkedIn, they're going to now be able to be led back to my website, lesternare.com. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to toggle off my broadcast. What you'll do when you want to post, if you want it to automatically go to your platforms, you can keep this on, so it does. I'm just going to turn it off for now. and I'm just going to submit this to show you what it'll look like. So again, now that I have it posted, we see lesternari.com right here, and I could have put a little call to action to say, visit my website to look at more properties or to send an inquiry to me, etc., etc. So again, that's another way in which people are using the platform to drive traffic to their own personal websites. So the last piece I'm going to cover before I leave you guys today is the most exciting piece, and it's going to be something that you guys can exclusively get because you were smart enough to not only join this live broadcast, but to also stay with me all the way to the end. Very smart, very, very smart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the secret new feature. Again, no one has really seen this yet. This will be released this week on Thursday. So for those who want to take advantage of this, this is going to solve the last big problem I'm sure some of you may have in your head. Lester, this all sounds great, but what do we all say? I don't have the time. I'm so busy. I'm already calling all these people, emailing all these people, going around. Lester, I just don't have the time to write this, even though I know I need to do it. So what we've done is we've introduced a new content marketplace just for our WikiRealty users to solve that exact problem. So on Thursday, when you log back in, you're going to want to head over to the dashboard at the top right, like you see here, and then you're going to want to head over to highlights. So again, this is a brand new feature, very exciting. Once you come over to highlights, you're going to see two new sections on the left-hand side. You're going to see marketplace, and you're going to see my drafts. So if you hop into the marketplace, what you're going to see in the marketplace is a library of pre-written hyperlocal content that you can buy a la carte. And for those of you who are joining me now, we're going to go ahead and give you 4 free highlights to redeem to your account. So you get 4 highlights, 4 pre-written pieces of content that you can go ahead and get for free and add to your account and broadcast it again so you can see it work in action, because we believe so much in the product and we know it's going to work. So I'm going to walk you through right now exactly how that would work, and how you can, again, not even have to worry about how much time it takes. Choose the article you want, broadcast it in less than a minute. It's super simple. And one thing I'll mention is when you registered, you had the opportunity to select your neighborhoods that you operate in. Those neighborhoods that you selected will determine the neighborhoods that you can choose from in this drop down when you go to the marketplace. What I'm quickly going to do is just show you where you can change your neighborhoods if you don't have them set and you're not seeing the options you want to here. So you're going to want to go to your settings and head over to preferences all the way to the right. From your preferences, you'll see this neighborhood section. Here is where you can enter the neighborhoods that you operate in, where you do your business, and where you're going to want to see options from the marketplace. So if you don't see anything there, make sure you have your neighborhood set here before you go over. So if we go ahead back again to that marketplace, so we can see there's a few different pieces here with photos already written for us. So I'm going to go ahead. I have a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom in Long Beach, and I know it's going to be really big for singles. So I'm going to go ahead and check this one out. That talks about Long Beach being known as a great city for singles, right? So again, since I have my 4 free highlights to redeem, as you can see, my total cost here is 0. So all I have to do, I can take a quick preview of it. I can go ahead and go to buy now. I can see that it's free. I can add my payment method in here. So let me go ahead and add my payment method. We'll do Lester Nare, cancel. And this is, no worries, this is all on a staging environment. So this isn't my real information. Sorry guys, you can't go buy that new Porsche. But you can try. I guarantee it won't work though. But these are just some staging credit cards we have to use for this example. So all you have to do is enter this in. Once you've entered it in once, you'll be good to go. And here we are here. I'm good. This is invalid. Sorry, 11/2020. Sorry guys. Okay. And then I just go ahead and hit that pay now. It'll do its business, it'll process, it'll say, Lester, I'm so excited that I don't have to do this and you guys will do it for me and I don't have to spend the time anymore. I'm really excited about this feature because that was my biggest pain point. You guys have answered my prayers. Thank you so much. Now we're all done. Payment has gone through. What you'll want to do now is go ahead and head over to your drafts here at the left. So if you go to my drafts, what we'll see now is here are your unpublished marketplace highlights. So what I can do before I send it out to everybody, I can hit this edit button. I can take a look and it's all already done for me. Long Beach known as Single City. I have my content in here, and what I can do is I can go ahead and say, for those of you who are interested in moving to Long Beach to take advantage of all the great options for singles, call me. I know better than anyone. Swinky face. All right. So you can add a little bit of a call to action at the end, right? Make sure you add your little flavor if you want to. We give you that option. It's already tagged to the map, but let's say you have a property that you want to tag it closer to. You can change the location. And last but not least, we can tag it with these lifestyle tags. We're going to go ahead and do culture. You can add your link, as we mentioned before. So I'll do my fake website, //www.lesternare.com. And you can also set your broadcast so it automatically posts to your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And all I do is press publish. And again, I'm done. It's published. I now have done my content marketing for the day. And it's out. It's gone to my Facebook. It's gone to my Twitter. It's gone to my LinkedIn. Now people who search there for Long Beach will know that it's Single City. They'll find me. And they'll know that they can call me for it. So again, this is a really, really great tool to save you time. Now we understand that you guys don't have the time. So again, the content marketplace, really exciting feature. It's been asked for a long time. We're so stoked about it. I can't even. I'm having a hard time putting words together because of how excited I am for it. And again, for those of you who are still with us, who are equally as excited about this, the marketplace will be available for all of our users, no matter what your subscription level is. So you can access it no matter what. If you do want to get the 4 free highlights, the average price for the highlights will range based on word count. The average price we see is about $25. So getting 4 for free is a $100 value. It's a huge deal. We are only giving that to those folks who do sign up for our pro subscription. So if you do want to get 4 free highlights, which equates to a $100 value, go ahead and subscribe to Pro today, and you'll get those in your account first thing on Thursday. If you don't want to sign up for Pro, that's fine. You can still get access to the marketplace, and you can still buy the content a la carte and do it exactly as we just showed you. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy another one. You know what? I'm feeling good today. We're going to talk about Sand Harbor at Lake Tahoe. I'm gonna do that too, and I already have my payment info, so I'm gonna go ahead and pay now. And again, before you guys even can blink, it's already gonna be done and published, and that's how quick it is. It's already paid for. I go to my drafts, I publish, I'm done. It's already out to my Facebook. It took me literally 30 seconds. I mean, how amazing is that? Again, really excited about it. If you do want to take advantage of those 4 free highlights that I mentioned, we have a record of everyone who's on the live call, so I'll keep an eye out for you on the back end. If you subscribe, you'll get it, and if not a problem. Stay with your free account. Check out the marketplace on Thursday, and start putting this content out there. Again, the more flags you have on the ground, the more digital billboards you put out, the more people have the opportunity to find you and connect with you, and the more chance you have to sell your properties. Really, really happy for those of you who joined us today. I hope that was informative. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the marketplace, checking some of this out and posting more content. If you guys need anything, you can reach back out to me at lester@wikirealty.com for any specific questions about what we discussed today. And we'll be back next week for more questions. Hope you guys had a great day, and I'm out.